Hey folks, welcome to the Triple T Thursday. For those just joining us, that's tools, tips, and talk, where we'll discuss info for the knife maker. In today's episode, my Blade Show wrap-up, everything that went down last weekend, and all the fun we had. So let's talk about it a little bit. First off, of course, sporting a new shirt, Maritime Knife Supply. So I got to meet Lawrence Lake over at Maritime Knife Supply, really cool guy. Looks just like me, both Canadian, white, got confused a little. People were confusing us a couple of times, so it was pretty funny. But cool guy to know, and you should go check out Maritime Knife Supply for your knife supplies. They ship to the US, and you can even shop in US dollars, so cool stuff. I'll be buying some stuff from there soon. So Blade Show, if you're not aware, biggest blade show in the world, not only for blade makers, but for material, super fun. Got to meet so many people, and you guys are going to see a whole bunch of pictures of who I met at the show. Also got to hang out with Brian Housewort from Housemade and Brian Cohn, both of the Work For Our podcast. So great guys, had a really fun time with them. And of course, I'm sporting my new High Koa shirt. So if you need Koa, definitely go check these guys out. They source it themselves. And of course, the links to all these guys are going to be down in the description. So go check them out and give them a follow on Instagram.
Well, folks, here's all the swag I brought back from Blade Show. First and most notably, of course, my Journeyman rating, this little card that says Journeyman, and the stamp. I didn't actually clue in that they actually gave you a stamp that has JS on it, but that's pretty cool. Most of you would have already seen that, but got my Journeyman rating. Moving on, stopped at Jant Supply. I needed some buffing compound, picked up this set of hybrid scales, which I think look awesome. So excited to use those. Of course, my buddy Brian at Housemade US, and the Work For It podcast gave me a t-shirt, a sticker pack with a new rule in it, so I'm going to use the hell out of that. So really happy with that. Brian's an awesome guy, so I was happy to hang out with him for most of the weekend. Got to meet Lawrence from Maritime Knife Supply, gave me a couple of shirts, a bunch of stickers, really cool guy. Canadian, and apparently my doppelganger a little bit. We do look alike. We're both Canadian. It was pretty entertaining. I had a viewer, and I'll talk about this more later on when I do some of the viewer shots, give me this awesome piece of stabilized maple that he stabilized himself. So I'm so impressed with that. Definitely going to use that. So you saw in the last video this sculpture, I guess, whatever you call it, this carving of TK, and this is from Mike Moran, and I just found in the mail, which unfortunately I didn't find before I went to Blade Show, but Mike sent me, how do we get this open? Another one that says iron and fire. Is that not cool? I was so impressed. Unfortunately, I didn't get to bring it to this blade, but it'll definitely be on the table for the next one. Thanks so much, Mike. And I'm wondering, are you your last name is Moran? Are you related to Bill Moran, the famous knife maker? So, but really cool. And I think this is Bacote, he said. So very cool. Thanks, Mike. Moving on, I went and purchased this piece of beautiful Koa from High Koa, these guys. Just a beautiful piece of Koa, and it's got some black resin in it, which I think was really cool. So I was really happy to pick this up and got entered into a drawing for a huge piece of Koa. Look at that. This thing's like 3 inches by like 2.5 inches by about 16 inches. That's like a $400 piece of Koa. So I was thrilled to have won this. So look forward to some really cool knives. I don't know if you guys see the chatoyance in that Koa, but it is incredible. So talked to these guys for a while. Didn't realize that the only way you cannot harvest... So first of all, if you're not aware, Koa only grows in Hawaii, hence the High Koa. Only grows in Hawaii, and you cannot harvest live koa trees. The only koa they get is from deadfall trees. So they need to hike miles up into the mountains and just collect koa that's fallen on the ground. So that's where this comes from, and that's why it is so rare. So got a t-shirt from these guys as well. Looking forward to that. So really cool guys. So if you're looking into getting some koa, these are the guys you need to talk to. They source it themselves. They're the ones walking up into the forest and picking up the koa. I also got this little piece that just happened to be the stand for this one, so it'll also make a beautiful knife handle. And a bunch of stickers from them. Also got to meet Trollski, who's a big YouTuber. Maybe we'll get him in the next challenge. So got to meet him. And of course all these guys, some stickers from a bunch of various people. Special shout out to my buddy Jared at Echo Blades, who joined me at the table. You'll see some pictures in the collage coming up of Jared in a lot of those pictures. So big thank you to him. Go follow him on Instagram and see what he does. So that's what I picked up at the show. Let's go see some pictures.
Friday morning started bright and early, putting out my JS knives, and then about 2.5 hours later, the judging started. Thankfully, I passed my journeyman. These shots are from the graduation ceremony later that day. 41 JSs tested, and I think 35 passed. Then it was off to the exhibition hall for the Friday morning rush. Here's a little pan shot. Eric Rivers and Liam Penn were one of the first to stop by. It was so great to meet a bunch of fans. We didn't get a lot of pictures Friday morning just because it was so busy. Friday night at the pit, we had a bunch of drinks to celebrate, and I got to meet Amber and EJ from Naked and Afraid, which is one of my favorite shows. This is Easton from Little Black Ironworks. They were set up on the table right beside us. Easton is 11 years old and wants to be the youngest journeyman smith ever, and I think he's gonna do it. Everyone better watch out for this kid. So many viewers stopped by. It was great to meet them all. Tried to get more pictures on Saturday. Here's one of Kevin with the maple burl that he gave me, which I really appreciate. A bunch of viewers were even nice enough to buy some knives. Here's Paul Petro, who won the viewer portion of the Dagger Challenge, so it was great to get a shot with him. And here's a couple of my favorite makers. Nick Tobin, aka Pickle Cutters, Brian Cohn, and of course my buddy Jared from Echo Blades. More drinks and partying in the pit Saturday night. Here's Sid Knives, Pickle Cutters, and Lawrence Lake from Maritime Knife Supply. Here's me photobombing Brian Housewort and Jared. More fans came by the table Sunday, but the highlight for me was Kyle Royer coming by and looking at my knives. Here I'm showing Kyle the gold dagger. He found that pretty intriguing, which I thought was cool. Chatting with Kyle and having him look at my knives, certainly one of the top moments for me. And if that wasn't enough, I actually won the big piece of koa from High Koa. Thanks, guys. This is right near the end of the show on Sunday. Eric Rivers from the Rivers Experience and my buddy Jared. And lastly, a big thanks to Jared for being at the table and supporting me all weekend.
So definitely the highlight of Blade Show is meeting everyone, getting to see viewers and fans face to face, and getting to see all the guys I've been talking to for the past couple of years but never got to meet. So that's the best part of Blade Show. Just get out there, show yourself, and talk to some people. Thanks, folks. We'll see you on the next one.